Great day,
Okay.
y'all. All right, here we go. Now,
And then we're going to start recording in the cloud.
Okay. Awesome. Now you're ready.
Yeah, you're talking about your power situation and stuff, but we have that power situation almost daily.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
It'll come on. So we could do that.
Daily?
Okay, we could do the recording.
Daily.
I would be going to the board or the city. Why do you have power? You
So we
said
did that?
power issues daily. Oh,
I live in
no.
a third world country.
Yeah, the
That's
Philippines have rolling blackouts.
Rolling blackouts. That's right.
Is it because they do it to conserve power, or this is a daily
Let's
issue?
record.
It's a daily issue.
Oh, man.
How about this?
If their engineers came to the U.S. to work, they would be fired the first day. That's how.
I don't want to laugh, but I don't know what to say because, oh
Okay.
my God.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. All right.
He said you'll be
Okay.
fired on this day.
All right. Welcome everybody. Hey, we had to do some what's it called? Housekeeping first. We're gonna remind people to hit the thumbs up, subscribe. If you've been watching these shows over the time and you haven't subscribed, we got a lot of people in different countries, and you guys, you chat and or you leave a message in your country. So I haven't put that in Google to interpret what you just said. So if I haven't responded to it, I just put a heart there to say, hey, I don't know.
Got to come back and look at this later. Sometimes it'll take us about 24 hours to respond to a comment. So be patient with us. We're a couple of blind guys running on a shoestring. Hit us up at paypal.me/InnovisionDenver if you want to help us with a little donation. We'll talk a little bit about that later.
Right. And let's see. Oh, it was something else, and it totally slipped out. Oh, let's give a listing of, since the people here in Zoom, they know all the topics and all the little stuff I wrote about the topics. But for the audience that are just joining us, here are some of the topics that we're going to be doing. Of course, we're going to musically speaking, we're going to talk about Olivia Rodriguez winning last night, and in one of the past shows, I said that I heard her song when I was in Moscow and really liked it. And so I found some interesting things about her. Then, of course, I want to continue to tell them the truth about the gas prices, because we have a installed guy now who keeps lying, saying that Putin, everybody else but him, is the one who caused the gas problem. Then we have the one with the formula for women's milk. And I'm thinking like, man, have we, so we're going to talk about that. And then let's see, what was another topic there?
Well, let's see. We've got before the Biden/Brandon regime, the XL pipeline was running strong. It was going great guns on the construction and getting stuff ready to start rolling through these pipelines. So before he took office, we were energy independent. Once he took office, the first day while he was in office, he went ahead and reversed that via executive order and shut the XL pipelines down. So this killed 50,000 really good jobs that were out there. So we'll talk a little bit about that and some of the after effects of what has happened from gas prices at about $1.87 when he took office to, I guess, a national price of gas somewhere around $4.30, $4.32 a gallon. It's gone up quite significantly since he took office.
And in California, I heard it was like $6 and some odd cents.
In some places in California, you're absolutely right. You can pay $8.50, almost $9 a gallon, depending on what part of California you go into to get your gas. So if you're in a rural part of California and they have the ability to go ahead and squeeze you, they're going to go ahead and squeeze you.
I want to say this. I mean, can states that produce, and I've always said this, that could help America just as a whole, your serious infrastructure type stuff, steel, things like that, manufacture that here, PPE equipment, other serious, including medicine if we have to, for heaven's sakes, computer chips, anything that is needed for critical use, right? That's my belief.
We're
Because
going to
if
also talk. Oh, go ahead.
Because if you're also dealing with a war, then you don't have to deal with, hey, they're not getting gas to us, or we're not. I just heard that somebody in my church was talking about how Russia just shut electricity off to an entire country. Like, what in the world? Electricity. Like, who would do that?
So
Wow.
we're
Trump
going to
told
also
them it was
talk
gonna
about
happen.
science. We're going to talk about women, breast milk, new technology that is out there to kind of combat this baby formula food shortage. So we're going to talk a little bit about Bill Gates, some up and coming technology that coincidentally was put out there for coverage within 2 weeks of this baby formula shortage. So the idea being, don't get your breast milk for your babies, from banks or lactation specialists and this kind of thing, but rather go ahead and feed your child milk grown in epithelial cells.
Yeah. So
What is that? I'm sorry. What kind of brand of milk? Repeat the word again. You said the brand of milk was called what?
Oh, I was saying that the breast milk was instead of being produced naturally and available via lactation banks and that kind of thing, they are now growing cultured milk in a laboratory using epithelial cells to produce that breast milk. We've got a bunch of other topics that deal with baby formula. Here's a really good one. Why in the world are baby formula pallets and pallets and pallets of baby formula being shipped to the border, to the southern border here in the United States? And I do understand, I don't know whether this is the case or not for sure, but there are also pallets of baby formula allegedly being shipped to the Ukraine. Not a big deal.
Not in Texas. In my state here in Texas, they said they put a stop to people giving those folks water and all that, because what happened is it was making these people continue to come over here. So they told people to, the public and people here, to stop doing it. So I don't know if there are other people shipping it. I don't know. I know that here the public was told to stop going down there and giving people formula and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I always said this: solve the problem of where they may flee. Meaning, if these people are fleeing, why in the world are they leaving? Is it because of the conditions? Is it because of the government? Is it because the government cannot be voted out? Those are all things I think about, because I wouldn't just up and leave a country. There has to be an honest to God reason why thousands of people would up and flee an entire country.
We're also going to talk about a couple of other topics. One being, why do these politicians want to force us to use these unsustainable green energy policies when basically Johnny kind of labeled this as visual pollution. So you set up these windmills, you set up these great solar farms and whatnot. And not only are they bird killers, because birds are actually attracted to electronic equipment, things like satellite dishes, where they'll fly straight up into a windmill and get all chopped up, things like this. Not only are they visual pollution, but they're actually, quite bad for the wildlife, I would imagine.
And the pollution they produce when you try to get rid of them, they have to be buried.
Yeah, and
Wow.
they
Well,
don't.
and
Go ahead.
now with the way they make them, they're taking the steel and stuff and they're melting that. Well, it takes energy to do that. And here in Texas, they had tornadoes hit those, and it was absolutely scary. And people said that those things could topple on homes and kill people. In fact, most people said they shouldn't even be built in residential areas because of the fact that they could tip over or fall just for that fact in a tornado and other things and kill people. So those are other reasons that people think they should be built more and away from cities and stuff.
Interesting. Still kills birds. Still
Okay.
tracks them to the satellite dishes. Let's say they put satellite dish farms out in the wilderness away from residential areas. Still kills birds en masse.
Why does it kill the birds? What are they eating in the electronics that is? It's not food.
Oh,
in
it's
there,
not
so.
that they eat anything. It's more that they go flying. Their flight patterns intersect the satellite dishes, and they literally get fried.
They get fried.
Fried, by microwave energy.
Microwave. Yeah, when I was in the Navy,
Man.
they had the E2C, the early warning aircraft. They could fly any plane that was on the ship within that plane, and they had the big radome on the top, and people go up there and lay down, but if they got turned on, they got fried from the inside out.
Wow.
Whoa. But they had signs, do not lay in there. I know, for example, when I worked in this plant and they had a massive freezer, they actually had signs posted throughout the freezer, do not sleep, they let people know, because if that door locks, you're going to freeze to death in there.
Well, that's fine, well and good for people, but animals can't read.
Yeah, the animals don't read.
Oh, well, I forgot. That's true too. Animals cannot read. So people have to figure out a way to exist with animals. And it's been difficult out here in Texas. A wolf or a coyote, bit a kid. The kid was minding their own business on their porch, on their property, and the thing, for whatever reason, charged at the kid for no reason. And that's the same thing with these wild boars. Like, people are trying to figure out, how in the world do we live with this stuff as we want to live? I don't know. I don't know. Do you pay people to get rid of them? I don't know.
Or first thing, or you got to teach people, you don't take a selfie between these two animals thinking that they're going to just stand there and let you take the selfie and you can just walk past. Because one girl, she did that, and I don't know if it was a board, but it ended up tossing her into the air because it didn't get the concept of she's just taking a selfie. She's just got
No, and this boy was sitting on his porch minding his business and not doing nothing to any animals. And this was on the news, and the guy said, we'll he was so upset that they were thinking about paying somebody seriously to eradicate these animals. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know if you can go and private citizens start, there are certain things with government laws, you can't just start doing that. And they told them you cannot shoot guns in the city of Dallas, in the city limits. No. So the residents weren't too happy, because if that rule was not there, I promise you.
Right, that's a good point, Mike. Good point.
Yeah, I also want to let people know that Christian Brothers Moving Company is sponsoring our show. They sponsor a year worth of our shows, and so they're a moving company located in Englewood, Colorado, and they have locations in Texas and Phoenix, Arizona as well. So look at Christian Moving Company, and they'll take care of your moving needs, and they have I think about 28 or 30 like moving guys working for that company. So they're there for you. So just a reminder of that.
We
All
are
right.
listener subscribed, so thank you for subscribing. Do so if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to like and share this video wherever you're watching it. You can hit us up at paypal.me/InnervisionDenver to, help us to keep the lights on. And, if you want to become a sponsor, drop us a line at info@innervisionfm.com. And in the subject line, just put you want to become a sponsor. Tell us a little bit about your company, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll see if we can make that happen.
Oh, definitely. Now, okay. So we got these covered these windmill things, and also, I hate it. I'm glad that Saki has left. Jen Saki has left. I don't know if this other person is going to be any better, but it seems like when the truth will do, they will lie. And so when the reporter said, "What should the women do when they find they can't find any formula?" and she says, "Go to your doctors." Well, the doctor had nothing to do with with the government. Well, with the government not addressing this when it happened in February. So we heard her say, "Go to your doctor." What is he going to say? He's just going to shrug his shoulders and say, "Can't do nothing about it." So once again, is like instead of taking blame for the situation and saying, we let it go, we didn't address it back in February, what's 3 months later. So this is what we have. She gives us this snarky type of answer to women about ask your doctor, and so it just seems like you're on your own.
Here's an interesting question I've got, and that is this. What did folks do before baby formula came about? Well, they used a combination of either goat's milk or, other ingredients, to supplement the diet of the kids. If the mother was unable to breastfeed and there was not a wet nurse available or something to that effect. So, you would have a certain percentage of water that you could put in a bottle, make sure it's sterile, maybe a little Karo syrup, maybe a little, this, that, and the other. Don't want to go too far into it because the benevolent overlords at YouTube.
Or women used to know.
I mean, you can tell people what ingredients, if you can, sir, you can tell them what ingredients they can use, because a lot of younger people maybe didn't grow up back then or X, Y,
well, here's the scoop. What I don't want to do is make our benevolent overlords at YouTube angry. And the bottom line is this.
To say ingredients, okay.
They don't want this information out there, and there's a reason for that. They want the control. They want to be able to have this shortage, in my mind, so that epithelial cells which grow breast milk in a lab can become fashionable, just like perhaps baby formula was back in the day. I remember back in the mid 80s into the early 90s, people were literally being turned away from breastfeeding, indicating that this formula was more nutritious and more beneficial. And so a lot of women, figured it wasn't too fashionable to do that type of thing. Of course, there were other women that were real big time into it. And so therefore there was some pushback. And so that's why you have breastfeeding stations in bathrooms, and you've got all kinds of stuff available for working women, which would allow for the practice of this breast milk, breastfeeding your children. I don't know, man. Yeah. It's pretty intense. What do you think, Johnny? Mike?
Well, see, there was a thing that the company that they shut down. There was a thing in the news today. They didn't find anything, and the FDA is just sitting there keeping them closed down.
Oh, that's a good other point is the fact that there were 2 children, just 2. I'm not saying 2 is maybe too many, but there were 2 children, 2 babies that were affected by this bacteriological contamination.
Well, yeah.
And so
their study found that it wasn't from the formula.
Exactly.
What was it from?
Exactly.
What was it from? Did they find that out?
No, but it wasn't the formula.
Oh.
Right. The formula is all good formula, all the lots of, and so what they've started doing with this formula is,
I saw the government giving it out here. They were giving out stuff. They had a whole line out here in Dallas, Fort Worth of massive trucks where they were giving away formula. So this is Texas, so they got warehouses. Where they get it from, I have no idea, but it was huge. It was massive. Oh, wow. This is Texas, man. If it's anybody that can do something big, it's us.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they were giving away for free, and they told people if you need help, come here and call 211. And that's anybody that lives in the state of Texas or is familiar with 211 services. They have a lot of resources, food banks, and other resources that give away formula for free. And this is all based on your income. So you can check that out. Community Food Bank also is on a mission to also give these products away to people. They serve all 50 states. So Community Food Bank is another place located on 3000 Galvez in Fort Worth. And all you need is an ID and you're ready to rock and roll, folks. So yeah,
because some people are driving 3 hours and more to get the formula. So it's
wow.
Now with seven minutes left to go, if you guys out there in the audience have information about that, now I know a lot of people in Europe, they watch our show, UK, Russia, Venezuela, and other places. Leave information there. United States, we know we get some viewers from them. So leave that information there so we can share that with others. And like I said, it takes us about 24 hours, and we'll go over that and we'll share it with the audience as well. This Rodriguez, Olivia Rodriguez thing.
Is it Rodrigo or Rodriguez?
Rodrigo. I'm sorry, Rodrigo. I got to put the O there. She, I guess, she won big in the Grammys last night. And this other guy, he's a country star, and I guess they said that he said something racist, and I didn't go back in to look at what he said because everything could be whatever, right. He ended up winning some stuff, but when I first heard that that she won 2 years ago, when I first heard that song, I said that is the #1 song because she just the way she coined the words and all that kind of stuff. It just it's just she's another one of those. Taylor Swift telling about her bad relationships, and to realize that she was born in 2001 on a Saturday, May 26th of 2001. I said, man, I remember 2001, and so it was just interesting that I guess she's a model and she started out as a YouTube influencer and.
In 2001, wasn't that long ago, actually. I was actually in school, and you hear people younger than me talking about, I remember I said, damn, I feel really old, 100% I do, because I'm like, oh my gosh. I told one person, I'm talking to them like they remember, hey man, do you remember what happened, in 2001? And they're sitting there like, I wasn't here. I'm like, what do you mean you weren't here? They're like, I wasn't born. I was like, oh my. So, you getting old when kids talk about what's that. That's pretty bad. So
Olivia Rodrigo, she married John Lowe.
She's dating. She's dating.
Oh, she's dating okay. John Lowe?
Yeah.
So that's Robert Lowe's son, right?
Right.
Okay.
So,
wow.
And
what ends up happening with her is she went to the White House and she ended up trying to, let's see, how do I put this? She wanted to give good, right, and true and correct information according to our benevolent overlords here at YouTube with regard to the vaccination. And so, you know,
they used
is she still young and stupid? I mean,
they used her to put out propaganda. She,
What did
you know,
she
she just convinced young. Well, she was one of the people that convinced young people to take the jab, and we don't even know what's inside this stuff. And then the
oxide.
government, the government have you sign a paper saying that you cannot sue if something goes wrong. And whenever somebody tells you cannot sue if something goes wrong, I usually like to run the other way.
Yeah, I only took it once, but I haven't, I haven't taken it anymore. I haven't found any need for it. I'm pretty healthy. My doctor told me, it is a choice, but some people didn't have that choice. Some people's paychecks was tied to a vaccine, so not everybody could run the other way because if they did, they would have no job. So
that's still a choice, though.
That's still
some people's money was tied to that, and for some people, they don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their way of living.
Well, and it's understandable. A lot of blind folks in the United States of America have good paying federal jobs, government jobs, contracts, that kind of thing. And so, of course, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. When this encouragement came out and this mandate came out, I was talking to Johnny about it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to then go ahead and tie it to Social Security disability, some of the subsidies which take place. Boy, if you want these subsidies, you're going to have to go get the vacation package.
I was really waiting on that for Social Security. I mean, I thought
that would be scary because nobody would be able to do anything. It's not like you can go to another job or something. Social Security is your life. And, I'm glad that wasn't the case or that it was tied to that, but I see where y'all are going with that. And there are some things that I believe people should have a choice in. I know that having a choice to be vaccinated, that's a choice. I don't believe it should be forced on you like it has been. Even the city of Fort Worth, I'm serious, was on TV saying, if you don't get vaccinated, we're not paying you. And this is the city. So, we the 12th largest city in America. It's scary.
That's illegal. It's against the Constitution.
Yeah.
Absolutely against the Constitution.
I didn't know that because they was telling people out here, if you're not vaccinated and you get sick, and they even said it on the news, if you get sick, we are not going to pay you. Because people
if you take the vaccination and get sick and die, they still aren't going to pay you.
Right, because you'll be
dead. What are you going to do? You're going to live and not take the vaccination, or die and take the vaccination.
We do respect those.
You have to make choices. You're going to have to make choices.
Absolutely. We do respect those that were stuck between a rock and a hard place, made the difficult choice, and perhaps it wasn't the choice that I would have made. I got to have mad respect for those folks because, man, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They don't know. They don't know until they don't know.
And we got less than like 15 seconds to go because I was telling Alan here that I like to send these shows over to the TV station and with as little editing as possible. Right. So I appreciate everybody for being here. And we hope we're going to leave you guys like thinking about this and discussing this even after we're off the air. Put your comments in the comment line, and don't forget to smash the like and so it just helps the algorithms. Our shows have been spread around, and that is gonna do it for us today here on Innovision FM. I'm glad everybody joined us.
I had fun.
All right.
Thanks, Ashton. Thanks, Mike. Thanks.